They come back, they're not quite civilians, they're still military, they isolate themselves. They really believe that no one really understands what they've gone through, and to be honest with you, I don't think we do.
They faced, many of them, multiple deployments, which was very different than any other war. They were called back time and again.
Veterans and family members have wounds that are not visible and that are so much deeper and maybe even more painful than those physical wounds that do occur as a result of war.
They want to be heard. They want to be known. They want to not be judged.
I don't think we can even comprehend what they have seen and what they have experienced.
You're changed. This is not one size fits all. Everybody is changed in a very personal way. So now, who am I? Many student veterans are having difficulty concentrating in class, getting through their studies, and are afraid to talk about it, afraid to use student disability services.
Until there's an incident, the instructors really don't identify them as a separate group. One student had a professor that was wanting him to go very deep in an acting class, and he just could not go there. It brought up all kinds of feelings regarding his stint in the military. The professor actually confronted him, and with not having much understanding of vets, said, well, you really need to leave your problems outside the door, and in here you really need to do what is requested. He wanted to either punch the instructor out or verbally call him out, but he didn't. What he did was to leave the classroom, and he went outside and punched the wall. Instructors are not informed before a class begins that there will be vets in their classroom. So they are not aware that there are vets, and many of them can't even identify them.
I think it's vital that we are offering resources and services to student veterans on our campus because they are an invisible population. We can't tell who's a veteran on our campus just by the clothing they wear, by their mannerisms, by looking at them. So it's important that we are addressing their needs, needs that are very different from the regular traditional student population on our college campuses.
And so it behooves us of the Soldiers Project to be thinking about how can we help facilitate the school community, how to be most helpful to student veterans.
We know that our counseling services on our college campuses are meager, that students aren't a lot of times able to access them, that there's a stigma surrounding going to the counseling center on campus. And so by developing a relationship with the Soldiers Project, we're able to make a referral to an independent mental health professional in the community where the student can go to their office on their own time and not face the stigma of walking into the counseling center on campus.
The Soldiers Project has been vital to our success here at the New York Film Academy. It has really helped our faculty and staff understand a lot of these readjustment issues. We have a very large population of veterans, and some of these veterans have readjustment issues including traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, or post-traumatic stress. I had one veteran come into my office one day, and he just was talking about all of the difficult struggles he was having in class. He talked to me about how he was an A student in high school, never had a problem in math, was always really, really good academically, and didn't understand what was going on within himself, and he was getting entirely frustrated, and it was really wearing on him. A D student became a and B student, and it was due to getting the services that he needed, and we couldn't have done that without the Soldiers Project.
So we have really an expertise in working on the college campuses. This is what we do, this is what we know how to do, this is what we've had experience in, and this is what we've had success in.
I have felt throughout participating with the vets that most of them that I have at least worked with are so isolated. So I have become one of the major connections that they have as returning military individuals. and then they move on and have developed to such an extent that it's touched me to a point that it's hard to even describe.
The reason I got involved with helping veterans was due to one of my best friends, Dan, who joined the Marine Corps after he graduated from college. He had a really difficult deployment to Afghanistan and then returned home to civilian life. And I really wanted to support him. I really tried to help him. Ultimately, I wasn't able to help Dan, and that haunts me to this day, but I am able to help veterans who want help. I've been here 2 years. I've had many different veterans call and say, hey, you really made an impact in my life, and really the way you did it is by listening to me. So ultimately, I was not able to save Dan, but I was able to save a lot of different veterans throughout the course of my career. And I hope to help many more veterans. I got about 50 or 60 good years left in me.
So some might ask, why? What's in it for us? Or is there a catch? And the answer is simply this. Every day, we are losing 22 veterans to suicide.
We are losing 22 veterans to suicide.
This is unacceptable.
This is unacceptable.
Which is why
We are driven to serve,
Give back,
Educate,
counsel,
help in any way possible.
to turn this generation of heroes
to turn this generation of heroes
away from becoming another statistic,
And into productive,
successful,
inspiring future leaders
of
our communities.
we are
we are
the Soldiers Project.
the Soldiers Project.
We are the Soldiers Project.